How's it going? So here's my first official video, per se. The last were just kind of introductory things. Here's the first outfit. So I've got a button down, and it is a long sleeve, but it's summer, so I've got the sleeves folded. Creates a pretty classy look, if you will. But here it's a granddad collar, which is pretty nice for the summer. Gives it a bit of a laid back sort of feel without compromising on the smart nature of a button down, if you will. So yeah, I've got this button down, and you can see the striping. I've mentioned that before. A light bluish color. This is by Michael Kors, and it's a size medium. And I didn't spend too much because I've got somebody, you know, when you have contacts, you can get discounts. So I got a discounted off of a sale price on this shirt, so I figured why not. And then as far as bottoms go, let me step back here. So a bit of a faded salmon color for the shorts. Usually these colors work pretty well. I have a light blue, just a normal Ralph Lauren polo that I wear with these. I've also got a pair of chinos in the same color, although they're not as faded as these are. These have a bit of a washed look to them. But it's a good summery, warm weather color combo that I really enjoy. For footwear, I've got my white leather sneakers. So all this to create a bit of a smart casual look. If you're into style, you've heard that before. And while I was standing back there, you saw my USP. I'm at home, and so I'm carrying the extended magazine. I don't really have to worry about printing because I'm at home, right? But if I'm gonna step out, remember I've got an 8-rounder. I don't really have a problem, and that's the thing with these button downs, is you can get away with a more full-size carry as opposed to trying to slim down when you've got clothes that, remember I mentioned that you really want to pick up clothes that fit. I'm preferential towards things that not skin tight, but more of a slim look. And so when you're wearing the slim look, you probably have to size down on your carry so that you're not printing and exposing that you are concealed carrying, because otherwise what's the point? But like I was saying with these shirts, is they tend to be a little more boxy, and because they're meant to be tucked most of the time, you can get away with like I have here with my extended magazine. You can get away with carrying extendos. You can get away with a bit of more bulk if you're into carrying extra mags, bigger handguns, things like that. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to show a good idea of if you're into carrying more, how to maybe do that. So since I've got the 8-rounder as opposed to the 10-rounder with the base plate, I'll go ahead and step back again, and you can see, and I'll do a side profile so that you can see how much, or how little rather, I'm printing, and that way we have a good idea of what I'm talking about here as far as these boxy shirts, because the shirt really isn't boxy. It does fit rather well, even though it's a medium. I tend to wear small to get that slimmer profile in my clothes normally. But here, let me step back. And by the way, that is my brown Hank's leather belt. I showed that before, I think in my, what is that, the style philosophy video, it might have been. But like I said, it works well for my sort of modus operandi when I'm carrying. Sorry if you saw a bit of a cutoff there. The SD card got full, and then the camera died, kind of a perfect storm. But anyway, I was talking about my modus operandi, and how the shirts, especially these button downs, if they're long sleeve and they're meant to be tucked in, how they can accommodate more of a bulky get up for those who are used to that. Point being is, if you can't look after and take care of yourself first, then what point is there in trying to look after and take care of others, right? I believe we take care of the self before we try to extend our hand. And so I'm here trying to make sure that we can refine ourselves, so we can better take care of others. So I'm thinking that as I continue, and hopefully I do continue, and I don't do what I usually do and give up halfway along the process, but if I continue to make these videos and viewership starts to grow, I imagine it's going to be a lot of the gun community before it is the style community. And so I really want to, my goal here is to try and mesh the two, and my ultimate goal is to try and get the style guys, because you could be into guns and everybody knows that you're into guns and that you probably carry, but for those who are into style and that's it, and everybody knows that they're into style, who knows if they carry or they don't. So my goal is to try and convince those that don't, who are more style conscious, to sort of maybe not carry, but start to look into guns. And before you do that, I would urge you to familiarize yourself, if you're in the States, to familiarize yourself, excuse me, sorry for the repetitiveness, with your state's laws, and what that pertains, or how that pertains to, rather, your ownership of said firearms, and especially concealed carry handguns. You can conceal carry other things, I guess, if that's your thing and you can make it work, then by all means make it work. Not very conducive to dressing stylishly, I would say. But anyway, I digress. My opinion is that firearm ownership is something that is, I would say, obviously fun, can be rewarding, and ultimately is there for self-preservation, right? And I think everybody is entitled to that. But I think that we fall into the stigma too much, and we become convinced by movies or media or whatever, that guns are either awesome and they're cool, or they're super dangerous and they're scary. You could lean either way. And I sort of want to at least make people curious, and start to do their own research on maybe carrying is something viable, and maybe it's something that I could become comfortable with. And that's all I'm here for. So anyway, I'm trying to keep these videos short, so I think I'll cut it off there. One more time, I'm wearing a light blue striped button down with the granddad collar. We're in Arizona, southern Arizona again, so I usually leave one or two buttons undone. I'm wearing some washed salmon shorts, and I'll do a quick step back again. I forgot to mention that these shorts are a inseam length 7 inches, I think, on the inseam, 31-inch waist, and they're from Gap is the brand. And once again, the leather shoes. And I think the motto I'm going to be using around here is stay fit, stay styled, and stay strapped. See you on the next one.